Doesn't this food look good to you? Today I'm going to be talking about Cane's food and why you should still eat there even with the long lines. Every time I go, it's always long. Usually every time I go, the lines are always long. Have you ever been to your favorite restaurant and taken a bite out of it and you didn't like the food at all? Well, this isn't going to happen at Cane's. Even though there are long lines at Cane's, it's also one of the top places to eat. One of the main problems that you have to deal with is the long lines both inside and outside in the drive-thru. Some solutions for this is maybe go at a certain time, call your order in ahead of time, or Cane's could even help out by building a couple more buildings around the area. Some benefits from this would be obviously less lines that aren't as long. People, if they seen the long lines, they wouldn't want to always go and see what was up with that restaurant. So let's talk about ways that we could come up with solutions for these long lines. No one wants to wait in line for food, but for Cane's they will. Every time you go to Cane's, there's always going to be a long line, whether you're inside or outside through the drive-thru. According to Kearney Hub News, people waited for about at least 20 hours outside of Cane's for the grand opening. Another reason it always is so busy and the lines are so long is because it's one of the more noticeable fast food chains in America. So let's talk about a few ways that we could some ways that we could remedy this. So you aren't always mad and crying all the time because you can't get your food. Some solutions are timing, calling in your order, or Cane's building some more buildings. According to Honolulu Magazine, you can beat the crowd by usually going on a weekday around 11 a.m. Another way is you could call in your order and pick it up. The wait would go from about 20 minutes to 5 minutes, and you could always do curbside delivery where you just pull up to the front and let them know you're there and they bring out the food to you. Another way is you can add more Cane's to different locations, and that would give more people different options to go to, and that would work as a solution because then more options to go to, less people going to each option of the restaurant. And no one would really mind having a bunch of Cane's because their food is that good. So let's talk about some ways that these steps can help you get that good chicken. Some benefits are it helps with wait time. It'll probably relieve a lot of stress and frustration of waiting in line and having to be somewhere at the same time. And again, it helps with if you have a limited time, say you're at lunch, you have like 15 minutes, these steps will help relieve that wait time. And now let's take some action so you can understand what all the hype about this chicken is. So gather your family and friends and be prepared for some good food and head over to Cane's. Having to deal with long lines both inside and outside in the drive-thru. In order to deal with that, you should go at certain times, call in your order, and they could even add more Cane's. And this would make the lines less long and give you a less wait time. So again, grab your families and friends and go discover why, according to Thrillist TV, Raising Cane's is #1 in America right now.